All right, let's get started. I'm going to review the population and geography homework that I've assigned you over the next couple of days. It's part one, part two, part three, part four, and part five. So let's get started on that. So in Google Classroom, you will notice that I have assigned you multiple parts of a homework assignment called population growth. So when I go to the classwork here, you will see French and Indian War. We have population growth down here is the first assignment right here, which is due today. And you can see one person has already done this. Thank you, Tyler. And it is make a copy of the following notes. You have to make a copy of it so that you can work on the file. And when you open the file itself, you would open it up here. And when it does that, it will take you to the Google document in Google Drive. And up here, you would click on File. And in the file, you can see right here, it says make a copy of it. Once you've done that with any of the documents that I share with you, it becomes yours. And now you can type into the document and then you'll be able to share it back with me. All right, so there's that. And then we have this part one. And the part one is a simple process here. You're going to do student responses, part one. You're going to evaluate this graph, and you're going to evaluate this graph. And then you're going to identify 3 facts from the slides 2 and 3, and you're going to write a short summary on population growth. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. So that's part one, and that's what you need to do today. The other parts are up here. I've broken it up into pieces for ease of use. I'm going to go here. So this is 3 and 4. And this is for part 5. So I don't know what I obviously haven't done number 2. So I've identified a problem already. No, I'm sorry. Parts 1 and 2 are right there. See, I'm learning as you are. And over here, there's population growth part 2. Again, make a copy of this. This one's a map interpretation. So you're going to look at this map. You'll notice the legend over here, 40 or more, 15 to 40, 2 to 15. Where do most of the people in the colonies in 1775, where do most of them live? After you evaluate the map, you're going to go in here and you're going to answer the questions and you're going to write a short summary. The lines are just there for you to see what work you're doing, and just realize that once you start typing, those lines are going to be a problem for you. So I'll just delete them right there. But just realize that this is where your response line is going to be. So that's part 1 and part 2. Back to the Google Classroom. And up here, you have part 3. Right? Part 3, I'm going to change the due date for this to Friday for part 3. I'm going to edit that. I don't like the due date tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's the 20th, so that will be done Friday, so that's perfect. You're going to go in there, make a copy of this, right? You're going to do parts 3 and 4. They're here. We're doing the exact same thing. Here's part 3. While I'm waiting for that to come up, I'll open part 4 so I can move right along fairly quickly. So here we go, right? Down here, it's like part 3. All right, so part 3 is a reading piece. So you have these paragraphs, you're going to read these short paragraphs, and then you're going to over here, you're going to put in your facts. Again, the lines are just there to show you where the response is going to go. I'll just put an R for the response. Each one of the paragraphs is just about putting a response in. So I delete the lines once you've made it into one of your own documents. So you can put things in. All right, that's part 3. Part 4 is this part, and this part's a little bit more in detailed. So as you can see, each assignment is building upon itself. You can do all of these assignments and post them at your own pace, or you can do it at my suggested due date. Right, here's a chart of all the colonies, and you can notice here Georgia doesn't even get populations until 1753. And the number of people, the estimated population is 1700. This is the estimated population. This is a different graph of population in the colonies for population in the colonies in 1750. And you can see up here, you can count the little men. Each man is 10,000 people. So I'm going to make you do a little extra work there to get there. So you take that information, you're going to use that data, and you're going to put that into this slide right here. So you're going to put in the 1700 population, the 1750 population, and then what you will do is you're going to subtract the two to get to a gain. And then stop right there at the gain. And we're going to convert that gain into a percentage. And I'm going to put a little bit, I'll put a whole nother video on how to do that. But you're going to put your 1700 population, your 1750 population, subtract the two, put the gain in here. And then what we would do is we would take that gain, that number, and divide it by the 1700 population, right? So we take the gain, let me actually take the gain numbers, divide it by the population number, multiply that by 100, and that's the percentage growth, and we would put that in here. So it's gain divided by the 1700 population, multiplied by 100, and I would have the percentage, and I would put it in this box. So that's what we're doing for part 4, all right? And then we have part 5, which is right here, which is another analysis of maps. And in this situation, I have posted into part 5 the completed data box. I'm not trying, it's just a way to do things. I'm not trying to trick anybody. We're just converting these things to see them into manageable pieces. And then there are slides showing you the population of France in 1700 was 16,000, and the population in the colonies, the 13 colonies, was 262,000. So we're comparing the French growth versus the British colony growth, and you can see it's quite significant. In the colonies itself, we're going to break down, and you'll see that a majority of the people are living in New England and Virginia, and then we're breaking down that population even more. I was like, actually, I don't even need this slide because it's the same. Right? And then we're going to look at the movie in the Ohio River Valley. We're going to analyze this map. I want you to watch this video, and then I want you to answer these questions in the response box. Pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, be sure to text me, and I look forward to seeing some of your responses and seeing your thinking as you submit and post these. Remember, you have to post them into Google Classroom for each section or part that you've done. All right, thank you very much, and I'll be in touch with you later.